Since Universal has opened Epic Universe, the big question on everyone's mind has been, what's next? Well, Universal seemed ready to announce an expansion, but then at the last second has pulled it back. One word omitted from a press release has led many to believe that Universal may be backtracking after a statement on Epic Universe's expansion. Let's talk about it today on That Park Place. All right, guys, Universal, this coming to us from thatparkplace.com, written by Chamley. Universal had put out a statement about upcoming additions to the Universal Parks division. It had suggested that Epic Universe was about to go through expansion, and the initial press release outlined a range of company initiatives, including developments in theme parks beyond Florida. So it says NBC Universal continues to scale immersive experiences as one of the only two global media companies with a theme parks division. This includes expanding Universal Epic Universe, developing a new theme park in the United Kingdom, the company's first in Europe, and introducing new formats, including the first Universal Kids Resort and year-round horror experiences in Chicago and Las Vegas. Is the Chicago one open yet? I don't think it is yet, right? I think that's coming soon, but the Vegas one is open.
I think the Chicago one is open already. I just don't remember what exactly they have to offer in there, but I think it's open.
So then, in a statement to mark NBC Universal's 100th anniversary, the company issued the exact same statement, but it took out the word expanding. So just as this includes Universal Epic Universe, did not say anything about expansion just yet. So even with the removing of expanding, Epic does seem to be growing anyway. Since its May 2025 opening, Epic Universe has seen several publicly recorded construction permits and site activity indicating preparations for future development, though no new attractions or lands have been fully announced as of yet. Key documented projects include Project P915, a two-story, 53,886 square foot event building near Celestial Park with ongoing utility, foundation, and roofing work. A large site utilities and foundation permit covering approximately 150,000 square feet field in late 2025 for potential future construction, and permits for permanent fireworks infrastructure, including rooftop structures and a main launch pad behind the park. Additional grading and utility permits backstage in areas near the Wizarding World of Harry Potter Ministry of Magic indicate preparatory work in other expansion plots, while aerial observations confirm activity on open land intentionally reserved for future development. So guys, the Universal, it seems like Epic Universe is going to be expanding, but they are not willing to talk about it yet.
Good.
Yeah. They're always cagey about this kind of stuff, right? They're always cagey about expansions, rides. I mean, for the longest time, I remember when Velocicoaster was a churro stand. I think is what they said about that attraction when it was being developed. But they've long taken this stance, and this is after the implementation of Harry Potter, where they saw attendance severely dip right before the opening of that new attraction. They've taken a stance where it's like, okay, we're not going to talk about expansions or new attractions until right before they open, and that way we can mitigate that otherwise attendance hit that we would experience. So I think it's them trying to control the narrative, control the story, saying, hey, don't delay your Epic Universe trip, visit now, and that's a good point. You'll have a great time.
That's a good point. Right. They don't want people to put it off to wait for new things to happen, because remember, it's going to take years to build new things here. Erika, of the things that we have discussed that possibly could be coming to Epic Universe, what is the thing that you would want to see the most?
Oh gosh, the Luigi's Mansion. I'd heard rumor about that. If that's even true, I think would be
I've
fun
heard
and
rumor
cute.
of that. The last I heard about a Luigi's Mansion was we would not get that anytime soon, because if that's going to happen, it's going to happen first in Japan.
That makes sense, and then bring it over.
Yeah.
I guess Zelda then. And anything in the field of Mario. I just love
Zelda,
Nintendo.
I think Zelda is far more likely, because with Zelda, first of all, you've got a large plot of land right next to Donkey Kong, and secondly, Zelda has been baked into the very DNA of this park from its inception.
Yeah,
that led many people to believe that Zelda was supposed to be included originally, because not only in the Nintendo gift shop outside Super Nintendo World do you have the Master Sword embedded in the floor, you have Link, Zelda, and Ganondorf up on the stained glass windows, but also in the parking lot, the original logo for the hero parking lot was the Master Sword and Shield.
I mean, there's so many Easter eggs. It only makes sense that they would bring that out next.
MJ, what do you think is likely to be the first expansion that they announce for Epic? You think it's going to be Zelda, or do you think something else?
Oh, I think it will be Zelda. I can't even. What didn't they say they were going to put Pokemon over at was it Universal or Islands?
We don't know yet.
Okay.
We believe that Pokemon is coming, especially with the announcement that it is coming to Japan first.
Yes, that's right.
But
They have to have it
don't
first.
know exactly where it would go. Some people think it might be Islands of Adventure. Some people think it might be coming to regular Universal where the Simpsons are. Some people are even said maybe maybe Epic Universe, but I don't think that's the case. But
Yeah, I think we might have a Zelda land, and if they do the expansion when they pull the permits, is it close by the Ministry of Magic or closer to Super Nintendo World? Because I can't remember on the
for which one?
For the expansion, you know how we get the aerial view? Is it closer to Ministry of Magic or Super Nintendo World?
There are two expansion plots. One of them is over by there's a large one over by Celestial Park over by Stardust Racers. And then you have another one over by Donkey Kong, and then there is an area behind Ministry of Magic where it looks like there's going to be some kind of attraction going in there. I've even seen kind of where it's likely that they're going to have the entrance for it.
Okay, we might get a second attraction in Ministry of Magic. I have a hunch. I just don't know what kind of attraction it would be, but
I think that might be the next thing that they announce. But I feel like that Zelda announcement is going to be huge. Whatever.
Oh yeah,
they may be waiting, Vash, for because the Zelda 40th anniversary is coming up. That's a perfect time to announce that. Also, the Zelda movie coming out. That might be a good time when Zelda fever is at its highest. That's when you suddenly announce that, hey, we're gonna move forward with this Zelda expansion of Epic Universe. What do you think?
Right. I mean, we've seen Universal correlate the opening of attractions with those films. The fact that Zelda is being produced by somebody else, I think, NBC Universal or Comcast, suggests that there might be some what do you want to say, some synergy there, but I don't think we would see it in the extent that we saw with the opening of Hollywood's version of Super Nintendo World and the Super Mario Bros. Movie when that actually came out in 2023. But I think you're right, Marvin. There are a plethora of opportunities that they could showcase. Hey, we are doing these expansions, we're building these rides, etc. I will say though, Universal's recent strategy of, hey, let the fervor simmer with fan circles or speculation, and then announce it last minute. I think that's the strategy that they really want to implement going forward right here. So I don't know if we will necessarily see official announcements from Universal until right about the time that these things are ready. So that's long after maybe show buildings are erected, pathways are cleared, and so forth. It's just it's a different company. Disney, they hype it up forever, right?
You don't think
Universal doesn't do that?
You think that they would actually start building and people would not know?
No, I mean, I think people do know, and they're okay with that.
Well, I mean, like, not know exactly what it is. Well, I mean, we did just see that with Rip Ride Rocket being torn down. We didn't know it was going to be Fast and the Furious until construction had already started.
Right. Exactly. And we really, there was no official announcement on Fast and Furious coaster out in Hollywood, I think, until like track was well and up and right before ride vehicles were actually delivered. So, it's just, they've just been taking this process of, hey, if fans know what we are doing, that's okay. They'll get the word out for us among enthusiasts. And then for the general public, we'll go with the big media blitz right here. I think that's what they do. And I think, to your point, Marvin, there are a wondrous amount of opportunities for them to do that.
Yeah, I agree. All right. Yeah, I'm excited to see what the future will bring. And the slow rollout, Vash, like you said, that has been one of the most interesting things because they did not make, Epic Universe still does not have annual passes.
right.
It's like they are waiting for things to slip, I think, before they do something like that.
I mean, I just had a conversation with Almighty Coasters. Amazing guy. Alan, you got to definitely check him out if you have not. We had him on Vash Guy Parkcast in our most recent show, and he was saying that, look, with all the changes that Disneyland Resort has just announced in terms of, ride maintenance schedules and so forth, and how to schedule out parts and how to schedule out operations in order to increase uptime. Apparently, those conversations are happening on almost a daily basis, according to him, at Epic Universe, because of the issues that have come up with that park. Again, these are all custom-built attractions for the most part right here. They don't have a duplicate anywhere else outside of maybe some attractions in Super Nintendo World. And a lot of that custom fabrication, a lot of those maintenance technicians, a lot of those cast members, they're still trying to, team members, they're still trying to find their groove, right? And this is why Universal has been very clear. Hey, we're approaching capacity. We haven't achieved it yet, but as soon as we have this part kind of figured out, now we can go ahead and offer, I think, maybe AP implementation, maybe some more robust ticket offerings, because there are a lot of people who are waiting for some of those international guests specifically.
Have you heard anything from your sources, Vash, about the implementation of annual passes?
Yeah, so the only thing that we have to really go on is what Universal is doing in the digital space, right? When it comes to like AP, like ticket offers or days that they provide, where you can, I think, buy like a discounted ticket through your annual pass. Those dates go throughout all of 2026.
Yep.
And so, we're just going to have to wait a little bit longer for APs to be included.
Right. We all thought that it was going to start in January of 2026, because originally all of those deals ended at the end of 2025, and then they extended them for another year. So, I mean, I can see it going for, a year and a half of no annual passes, but I can't imagine it's going to go much further beyond that.
I can't imagine either. I think they do want to add Epic Universe, or at least a tier of annual pass that includes Epic Universe onto tickets.
Nolan.
Yeah, I was just Nolan.
Nolan's fun.
Nolan, I still see you there. Like,
but the issue though is that if people are expecting for annual pass holder rates to stay the same, that's not quite going to be the case. I think they're going to go up precipitously.
Well, see, I don't think I think it'll be a completely separate annual pass.
It might be initially, yeah. Which is what Disney actually did for DCA when that opened in 2001. Very interesting.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so because I right now the way the Disney annual pass is, or the Universal annual pass is structured, it is like per park. You could have just the two, or you could add on Volcano Bay, and so I think it's either going to be an add-on or it's going to be an entirely separate pass. I think the more likely scenario, since so many people are already locked into those contracts where they're paying monthly, is going to be the separate annual pass. Yeah, and Universal can do this because demand is there. You have a lot of annual pass holders who definitely like the experience at Epic. They obviously want to go right on their own time, on their own day. And Disney couldn't get away with doing that. They had to eventually bundle Disney California Adventure with Disneyland for those annual pass holders very quickly out of the gate. They dropped the idea of having two distinct passes. Epic Universe demand, though, is so high that they can do that. And so, I think announcements are going to be forthcoming on that. I would be shocked if we didn't hear at least somewhat, maybe a mention from Universal, maybe Universal Creative, somebody saying, hey, look, listen, annual pass holders, annual passes that include Epic or as a separate option are coming very, very shortly. I think we're going to hear at least that announcement in 2026. Right. Absolutely. All right, guys. Well, Epic Universe, the future looks bright. It looks like there is going to be expansion, whether Universal wants to admit it or not.
Thanks for watching That Park Plays News. For more information, consider checking out www.thatparkplace.com. And don't forget to subscribe, share, like, and send this out on your favorite social media accounts.
There are men who go to sea to find fortune. Men who go to sea to lose themselves. I went to sea to find honor. Since I was a boy, I was forged in discipline, faith, duty. They called me loyal. They called me righteous. They called me useful. But the sea does not care what a man is called, only what he becomes when the world takes everything from him. I prayed for peace, and the world answered with only death. I have seen honor used as a mask, and sin used as a shelter. The devil walks plainly in this world without shame or fear, and now the ocean carries whispers of men who believe they can burn faith out of this world. They are wrong. My name is Jonathan Reed. My story has only just begun.